Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for being here at the University of Houston. My name is Summer Harlow. I'm an associate professor here in the Valenti School of Communication, and it is my privilege to welcome you all, but also to welcome our first speaker, who is going to be Dr. Jen Vardeman, who is the director of the Valenti School of Communication here at the University of Houston.
Hi, thanks, Summer. Can everyone hear me okay? This is an amazing turnout. I'm really impressed, Summer, and to the whole PIC organization. So I apologize. I'm playing Mom Jenga this week with camps and summer school and everything, and I just drove in from 40 miles away to drop someone off at horse camp. So I'm reading my remarks, so I apologize. But welcome to the University of Houston and to the second annual Public Interest Communications Summer Institute. As Summer mentioned, I'm Jen Vardeman. I'm the director of the Valenti School of Communication here at U of H. And we are so pleased that you have chosen U of H to host your Summer Institute. And I can tell how important the advocacy for public interest in education is for you all to spend time in summer in Houston. I think we're reaching 100 degrees this week, and this is the first of about 6 weeks that we'll be in that zone. So I can tell you want to be here because of each other, and be sure to have plenty of sunscreen and water on hand. Okay, so at the Valenti School, we wholeheartedly support your mission for more public interest communication programming in universities and communities. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why it's in our community's DNA to work toward affecting greater public good. Case in point, the University of Houston is consistently listed in college rankings among the top 10 most racially and ethnically diverse student bodies in the United States. And we're situated in the heart of the city of Houston, which has been named in the last 2 years by industry groups like Wallet Hub and Rocket Mortgage as the most diverse city in the United States, according to socioeconomic, cultural, economic, household, and religious diversity metrics using 2020 census data. So this means that we are obligated to our students to make a positive impact on our surrounding communities. Promoting projects that support the public interest is a win-win effort for our students and community. Valenti students feel represented in our programming, which is something they may not experience in other institutions. Likewise, the community is better supported when students can deploy the communication skills and tools they've learned to give back to their communities around topics that they identify as relevant and meaningful to them. I want to illustrate this to share with you one project the Valenti School students have created that exemplifies the mission of public interest communication. So, to educate Latinos about the significantly higher risk of Alzheimer's and dementia risk among their communities, the Valenti School partnered with the UH Department of Psychology to deploy a National Institutes of Aging grant. The grant was meant to offer training to Latinos to educate one another about risks around brain health. It was also intended to educate Latinos to participate in Alzheimer's clinical trials. So we learned in community-based focus groups that community members wanted messages about Alzheimer's to be positively framed, to be incorporated into a multi-generational context, to be delivered in English and Spanish, not surprisingly, and in a media format that is culturally meaningful to them. They suggested telenovelas would be best to deliver these health messages to their communities. So insert Valenti students. Our student-run media firm, which is called Valenti Integrated, hosted a script writing hackathon competition that was open to students or community members. The competitors' challenge was to write 3 medically accurate and culturally informed scripts within a day for a series of web-based telenovelas, or what we call web novelas, about a Latino family helping their abuelo or grandfather confront his declining brain health. Two Valenti students from the Latino community won the script writing competition because they had intimate experiences seeing these health issues in their communities. Using one of our digital cinematography classes as the production platform, these student scriptwriters and directors enlisted a production crew of about 20 other communication and art students. Over the next several months, these students fully directed, cast, produced, and edited five-minute web novellas for YouTube, titled Recuerdos de mi abuelo, which is Memories of My Grandfather. These important stories came to life with authenticity because most of the students involved came from Latino communities and other communities experiencing similar health disparities. So the stories were extremely personal to them. To make a greater impact on the public good, Valenti integrated students then promoted the novellas to local English and Spanish media and secured several media stories about the project. The videos are currently being played at community centers in predominantly Latino neighborhoods now. The airings are followed by Spanish and English Q&As with the research team, as well as screenings for cognitive health for community members who may be concerned about their or a loved one's brain health. The novellas have received positive feedback such that groups like the Alzheimer's Association and the AARP are optioning to license the novellas and launch them within their national platforms. Through projects like these, the Valenti School at UH joins the Public Interest Communication Summer Institute in furthering its mission to use education to impact the public good. We are so excited to be part of your next steps. Thank you for including us. Good luck. I believe Hub Brown is next. I'll go ahead and introduce you. We are certainly excited to have you here.
Good morning, everyone. All right. It is wonderful to be here. Thank you to the University of Houston, the Valenti School. It is such a privilege to be among you this morning. This was a great meeting last year at Howard University, and this is a step forward. This is even growing from that, and for that we are all grateful. I bring greetings from Gainesville, Florida, where not as hot literally, but politically, just a bit. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with the heat. And we know that you find ways to adapt. And so that's what we're working on. So again, thank you for all for being here. I am going to read my remarks. I don't have the horse camp excuse, but I can sympathize because I did that with my daughters too. Long drives for the horse camp, and so yeah, I feel you, having to go all those miles. We do what we can. It's great to be here, as I said. This is going to be very promising and very energizing. I'm excited about the program. Landon Ritchie, a political science major right here at the University of Houston and a student advocate for trans rights, said in an interview recently, "Your age does not equal your ability and power to change the world." Now, despite the headwinds that have blown across the nation with gale force, Landon and so many other student activists, they're undaunted. They continue to lift up the voices of marginalized communities and fight for the causes they believe in, ranging from racial justice and housing access to ensuring a livable planet. We have the youth-led Sunrise Movement and March for Our Lives, United We Dream, and Extinction Rebellion as examples of this. And we are here today as educators and practitioners who want to help our students succeed. So what success looks like, of course, depends on each student and what they envision for themselves. But we aim to instill in students a sense of urgency, a sense that it is within their power to change the world for the better. Students know that we as a society can do much better, and they have the energy and zeal to push for positive change. Now, global data from public relations and research firm Edelman shows that 70% of those in Gen Z are involved in a social or political cause. And although not all of the 10,000 people surveyed said they would call themselves fully fledged activists, they still are highly socially involved, advocating for causes they believe in through how they spend and how they earn. They're the most likely generation to boycott a product, a company, a country, or a state because of political, social, or environmental stances that those countries, states, counties would take, which extends to how they pick employers too. Just 1 in 5 would work for a company that fails to share their values. Now, the Pew Research Center in 2021 found that more than a third of Gen Z say they have donated money, contacted an elected official, volunteered, or attended a rally to address climate change. That's a higher percentage than millennials, Gen Xers, and baby boomers found. An activist generation is emerging. Activism is the theme of this year's Public Interest Communications Summer Institute because, like public interest communications, activism is the key to effecting positive social change to help us attain a just and equitable society. So this year we've seen lawmakers across the country push policies that, let's just call it out, openly discriminate against targeted groups, revoke basic human rights, suppress the vote, and tie the hands of educators from kindergarten to graduate school. We must determine what this means for our students and for our work and how we can move forward in a way that enables us to continue to empower students and prepare them for the world. That's what public interest communications is about and why it's so vital to build it as an academic discipline. Public interest communications is based on research, meaning we don't have to guess how to craft messages to move people to act. The science points us in the right direction. That's critical because we can't afford to spend time and resources being ineffective. We can equip students with the best communication skills possible to go into the world and to advance positive social change. We at the University of Florida are invested in building public interest communications as an academic discipline. We have a Center for Public Interest Communications and the country's only endowed chair in public interest communications. We offer an online master's degree with a concentration in the discipline. And starting this fall, undergraduate public relations majors will be able to select a public interest communication track. Plus, our public interest communications courses will be offered to online undergraduates. We're continuing to grow our program and the field because this work is so vital to making our world a better place. Our vision is for students at institutions nationwide to be able to major in public interest communications just as they major in journalism, public relations, and advertising today. In this room and online today are faculty, graduate students, and practitioners from across the country. You represent an array of fields: journalism, public relations, strategic communications, health communications, and more. Together over the next 2 days, we'll explore the intersection of public interest communications and activism, take a deep dive into community-engaged scholarship, and learn about public interest technology. We'll hear from educators and practitioners about what should be in a public interest communications curriculum. And we'll hear from a scholar and representative of a community in India with which she works with, and much more. Now, you are very critical to the future of this field. Administrators are key to facilitating the creation of new courses. Educators are vital to teaching them. And grad students, and we have about 24 grad students here, you are the future. PhD students, your research and work will be key to building the public interest communication scholarship that we all need. Practitioners are needed to tell us what they look for when hiring students, what skills students should have when they're going into the workforce. Again, thank you all for being here and for coming together to help each other, to share resources, to advance our knowledge, scholarship, and practice. I want to take note of the fact that here we sit in June in Texas. Juneteenth, good old Juneteenth is right around the corner. My family's from East Texas. They're from right up around Tyler in this state, not far from here. And Juneteenth is something I grew up with as a child. I knew Juneteenth. There are black rodeos up there in Juneteenth. There's all kinds of fun happening. It is this celebration of freedom that I hold dear to my heart. And I love the fact that it's a national holiday now. Fort Worth resident and lifelong activist Opal Lee was called the grandmother of the Juneteenth movement. She was 89 when in 2016, she walked from Fort Worth to Washington, D.C. in an effort to get Juneteenth designated a national holiday. That effort succeeded, of course, as you know, in 2021 when Congress made Juneteenth a federal holiday. In an interview for an oral history project, Opal said, "There's just so much that we need to address. We don't need to bicker. We need to unify to do this. And I'd like to think Juneteenth would be a unifier. We've come so far. Sure, we have a long way to go, but we can do it together." I think those are pretty inspiring words. We have work to do, but we can do it and show students how to do it together. Thank you all for being here.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Angela Bradbury, and I am the Frank Carell Endowed Chair in Public Interest Communications at the University of Florida. Thank you. I am incredibly fortunate because my job is unique. There is just one of these jobs in the entire country, and my job is to build our public interest communications curriculum at the University of Florida and to help build the academic discipline so that one day students can major in public interest communications throughout the country just the way they do in journalism and advertising and PR today. So to that end, myself and a number of people in this room have put together something called the Public Interest Communications Educators Network. And the idea is to bring people together. We have made some panel presentations about public interest communications at conferences. We've started a webinar series. And of course, we have put together now, this is our second summer institute designed for people to come together and share. We have 15 institutions right now in the Educators Network, but we need your help. This is just our second full year, and we want to grow and expand. So if any of you are interested in joining our network, please do talk to me or any number of the Educators Network people who are here today, and I just want to recognize them. Summer Harlow, who is with the University of Houston, you can talk to her. Another one of our founding members is Andrea Otoñez with the University of Washington. Natalie Tyndall with UT Austin. Thank you, Natalie. Gina Valeria, Sonoma State. Julia Fraustino with West Virginia University, which has a research center in public interest communications. Am I missing anyone? I know that Chinwen is on his way. He's getting here at about 10. Anyone else from the network here? Okay, well, so feel free to talk to us if you're interested in joining, because we want to continue to grow. A special note, all right, so with our Summer Institute, when we started conceiving of the Institute, we decided we really wanted to make it unique. And the idea is we want you to come away with tangible information that you can take back to your institution and use. And we also want to make it very engaging. The whole idea is to bring people together to learn and share resources. So we really want to engage you. And throughout the Institute, we will be engaging you and asking you to participate. In fact, on Thursday tomorrow, the session on bridging the researcher-practitioner divide is one big crowdsourcing activity. It's going to be super fun. We do have people online, and we will be engaging you as well. A huge thanks to our online guides, Lori Hennessy and Piper Hendricks, for handling that. Just a note for grad students, please be sure to attend. We have a special meeting just for grad students tomorrow at 4 because Nader Dagger, who is right there, is putting together a network of grad students to help continue to build this discipline. Before we dive into the program, I don't want to wait until the end to say thank you to our funders, because without the funders, we would not be here. So thank you so much to the University of Houston's Media and the Moving Image. A huge thanks to University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications, Hub Brown for the support. Also, University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications PR department. My chair, Maya Hutchins, is right there. And University of Florida College of Communications and Journalism online master's program, also a huge supporter of this. The University of Washington Department of Communications, thank you so much. And University of Texas at Austin's Stan Richards School of Advertising and Public Relations in the Moody College of Communication. So thank you to those institutions. And I have to give a huge thanks also to a very special person. Her name is Betsy Carell. She is not here. She might be watching online. If so, hello, Betsy, and thank you. She, along with her husband, Frank, created this chair position, and she contributed very generously to help specifically for grad students to travel here. So a huge thanks to her. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first panel can come on up and get situated. Our moderator is Erin Hart. So we will all get situated. We will be talking first about, of course, activism, because our theme is activism. And we will be discussing the intersection of public interest communications and activism. So here is our first panel. Thank you.